before I got hurt, I was training for a marathon. The marathon got pushed back a week. I got paralyzed within that week. My friend's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's like, no, it's okay. I didn't have to run the marathon. My friends back home were like, you weren't training for a marathon. I was like, how do you know? I had an Apple Watch on. It was tracking my steps. If you have an Apple Watch on and a pair of tennis shoes, you're only 26 miles away from running a marathon. I almost got kicked out of a spelling bee in high school. Instead of spelling my bullshit word dichotomy, I spelled the address of one of the judges and said, do you want to get fucking hurt tonight? It must have been a hard address to spell because I got first place that night. I got kicked out of a DoorDasher band in Texas. They messed up my order and you have to like send in a picture to dispute the charge. I was over it. I just sent in a picture of my gun and a bag of weed. And since it's Texas, they said, nice gun, but we got to ban you for the kush. What do me and Ted Bundy have in common? Both faking a wheelchair to bag chicks. Some people say, how did you get into bull riding, Tanner? You lived in Flint, Michigan. I said, yeah, I drank so much water with lead in it that I started making bad decisions, like dating girls that read tarot cards and riding 2,000-pound beasts that I think I can beat in a fist fight. My friend's from the same area. He said, man, I keep getting arrested. I think my problems are not getting diagnosed with autism correctly. He said, your problems are breaking into cars, doing Xanax, and burning down your house. You'd be a first ballot Hall of Fame in the Autism Club. Michigan does have a good homeless program, though. Every winter it gets so cold, we send them down south. And the way the program works is when they leave, we say, don't come the fuck back. And the population has decreased. In college, I went to light a girl's blunt, and she put in 200 gallons of hairspray, and her head went up in one flame. For 2 seconds, I honest to God thought I was going to get out of the date successfully. I also dated a girl in college who told me she was reincarnated, and she met the dude she was married to in a different lifetime, and she was going to pursue him. I said, that's terrible. She said, what do you mean? I said, that's terrible fucking odds for him to run across you in 2 different lifetimes. You go to meet a girl's parents, they're like, what's up with the wheelchair? What's your job? You're like, well, my job was my hand, but your daughter took over the role. And she wins Employee of the Month every year. I could tell she drove a stick shift growing up, and the dad looked me dead in the eye and said, nope, she's just a whore, buddy. The word heroin with an E at the end means female hero. I thought heroin with an E at the end meant you do heroin and then crash out on ecstasy, which is Amy Winehouse, and she is a female hero in some circles. But by some circles, I mean a circle of bums passing a crack pipe. I think it's a shame that Kurt Cobain died so early. He had so much left to do. I mean, he didn't even get to try fentanyl yet. That dude would have loved that shit. I was in Target the other day. Someone pissed me off. I said, you know what it's like to wake up in the hospital fucking paralyzed, and to check your cognitive ability, they ask you who the current president is? And then you realize, holy shit, I'm paralyzed and Donnie Boy's in charge. And my friend the other day said, Trump and China are kind of getting along. I said, the only thing Trump likes about China is that they also have a wall. He also used to like the Chinese government because they made their parents only have one kid. And the reason he liked that policy so much is because it meant there was less Chinese people roaming around the world. There's a lot that's changed in the last 50 years in the White House. Blowjobs, MMA fights, someone dying, getting through the doors. This sounds more like the Waffle House, not the White House. The ocean used to be a lot more dangerous when the Somalian pirates were ripping off cargo ships. Now they're living in Minnesota running daycares with fake kids. Last time that much money, time, and energy went into fake kids was Sandy Hook, Connecticut. I'm not even done yet. I think Michelle Obama encourages school shootings because it means the kids are eating less. All right, we're going to bridge from politics into sports. I met someone from Turkey the other day. They said, you guys elected Donald Trump as president? I said, you think that's the problem in our country? We put Jake Paul and Mike Tyson on national television, and half the country thought Mike Tyson was going to win. You want those people voting on public security and domestic terrorism? Probably not. So Michael Vick, I have a fantasy football league, and the punishment for the last place person, they had to dress in a Michael Vick jersey and walk dogs for a week. He did so well, it's his full-time job now. He's got 4 Michael Vick jerseys, and he doesn't make the dogs fight, but he does zap the dog collars for fun sometimes. It's a shame that with all Michael Vick's talent, he didn't win a Super Bowl, but it's more of a shame that his dogs didn't get a Supper Bowl. NBA stands for no bitches allowed, but James Harden's still allowed in the league. If that guy babysits his kids like he babysits the basketball, I bet he's a good parent. If I had cancer, I would watch him play basketball because he slows down time. My make-a-wish would be that he plays tennis. He's from the ghetto, so I know he knows how to deal with a racket. When I was in high school, my coach said, "There's no I in team, Tanner." I said, "Well, there is an I in cluster fucking, coach, and that's what every damn practice is. We should be the mighty fucks." 4-17, what is this, the WNBA? Women not being able to dunk besides Brittany Griner. Hey, my cousin played in the WNBA for 10 years. Becky Hammond. We love her, thank you. We love her even though she's batting for the other team, if you know what I mean. Yeah, she played for Russia in the Olympics. Can you fucking believe that? So sometimes you'll hear songs and you'll be like, where did that originate from? Like, what you gonna do with all that junk up inside my trunk? That's a fucked up song to make about Casey Anthony's daughter. We need to do it cooler. Harry Potter used the subway to get to a place where he played magic tricks on kids. Jared Fogle used Subway and also played magic tricks on kids. Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. Lance Armstrong put illegal injections in his moon. So I traveled the country for a while doing seasonal work before I got hurt. I used a Greyhound one time and I told the guy I was sitting next to, I was like, "I'm going to Ohio to teach kayaking. What are you doing?" He shows me an ankle monitor and tells me he got out of prison that morning after 20 years. When someone says 20 years, you don't ask why. You don't want to know why. But all I got in my pocket's a laser pointer and a pocket knife. And what if this guy decides he doesn't like civilization? He just wants to go back to prison and snaps my neck. So I called Greyhound. I said, "You guys put a felon next to me. What if I would have got killed?" They said, "We would have given you a full refund and a food voucher." I worked at 2 ski resorts out of state, New Mexico and Vermont. I would have never guessed the snow was so good away from Michigan. I mean, the Coke in Michigan is okay. Kind of burns your nose like the water in Flint, Michigan does. But the snow in New Mexico, that cocaine has you wanting to get a neck tattoo, join the cartel. The neck tattoo says family, faith, and fucking cocaine. I worked in the mountains for a while in Idaho. People are like, "Oh, it was tough finding women up there, huh?" Finding the women wasn't the hard part. The hard part was finding out my Michigan insurance doesn't cover the entirety of Idaho STD exams. I met her at a reggae festival in the mountains. You've heard of Burning Man? This had the potential to be Burning Pea. Last time I stayed on Airbnb, I stayed with 2 75-year-old gay nudists on accident. I got done with my rodeo and they kept messaging me. They're like, "Are you sure you checked the profile?" I'm like, "Fuck, I'll check the profile." It reads, "Me and my gay 75-year-old husband love hosting other gay men who want to get naked with us." Well, good thing I'm on the way and have the assless chaps in the back. You try riding a bull the next day after taking a team from 2 old guys. At least I got 1 8-second ride that weekend. Some people say that when I got hurt, I was really grabbing life by the horns. Just like when Dale Earnhardt died in a race on live TV, he was really living in the fast lane. Had you guys seen that Charlie Kirk shooting video? It was pretty bad. The cameraman was shaking, the lighting was off. At least when Abe Lincoln got shot, it was in a theater and the acoustics were just right. Thank you for being wonderful. Thank you for the time. It's been great.